Merry Christmas, everyone. It's a Marvel vs. Capcom collection. I got it for Christmas. I'm going to play one online match, Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I'm going to use my method I used with my friend Sean Hirsch. I'm trying to pick how do I play? Okay, here we go. I'm playing like I played against my friend Sean Hirsch long ago in the Regency AMC 20 movie theater. I button mashed, and he had been practicing the games. He learned all the combos and everything like that, and he still lost. He got extremely angry. But I could just merely button mash, beat him. I texted him today. I asked him if he still remembered, and he said he's still angry about it. Okay, looking for an opponent. What's taking so long? What is taking so long? I'm gonna click all the games, because they're all kind of the same, right? All right, here we go. I have to go to end game standby. Here we go. Here we go. Here goes my first challenger. Yes. Sonic ZN. I'm just going to button mash, just to let you know. So I play this game, I button mash. Pick the same characters I picked with Sean Hirsch. This might not be the same game I played with Sean Hirsch, because I feel like he only picked 2 in the one I picked with Sean Hirsch. Colossus. Right, here we go. It's going to be button mashing. I'm going to play through Predator. Or Punisher, I mean. Go Sean Hirsch method. It's hiring doing all this button mashing. Took out Wolverine. And better bash all the buttons. It's tiring. It's easier to bash buttons when you're in the arcade. Oh, he's got me. Game's hard. He got me. He got me. He's better than Sean Hirsch. Alright. That's all I need to do with that. No rematch. Now, for why I wanted this game, I asked my sister for this for Christmas. The Punisher. That's why I wanted the game. That's why I got this game. So I love this arcade game. Oh, I didn't even watch the beginning part. I would be amiss if I didn't watch the beginning opening scene, because that's why I love this game, because the opening scene is so violent, so gratuitously violent, that it just left an imprint on me as a kid. Here it comes. Look at that. There it is. That's what I loved as a kid. I loved that so much. First played it at Chad's World Arcade, Bloomingdale, Florida. Blew my damn mind. Hey, I don't like this marquee. Oh wait. Display settings. I don't want any wallpaper. I don't want any filter. Display size. Original, I think, right? I don't want the original settings. Original display. I want to keep it old school. Keep it how we saw it back in the day. Alright. Here it is. I wanted this, I think it's been at least 30 years that I had wanted this, a good home port of this game. Because the Genesis home port sucks and is extremely expensive now. Of course, I've had this on MAME, but like I said in one of my last gaming playthroughs when I was talking about how I knew I was going to get this game for Christmas, MAME is not the same. It's like downloading an MP3. This is an official release. It's like buying a vinyl record of The Punisher. So this is my dream come true. Finally seeing the light of day. Wanted this. It's been a fast 30 years. I mean, it's worth the wait. Finally got my wish. I'm gonna play through this. It's been a great Christmas. Had a ton of crab legs. As you can see, I got great presents. And, yeah. Living the dream, baby. Living the dream. The Punisher Arcade. See, it has a little bit of blood even in the gameplay itself. I mean, it's not as brutal as the slaughtered family in the opening credits. But, what do they call that? The attraction scene? I can't think of any better attraction screens than Holy Wars. Megadeth song. That's what that Megadeth song's about. Half of it, I think. I think half of it's about war, and another half of it's about the Punisher's origin story, Frank Castle, when he became the Punisher. He's gonna shoot his ass. He's a Punisher, he's not some kind of superhero. He's an anti-hero. He's not like Superman or Batman. The Punisher kills. without remorse. He's hardened after what happened to his family. There's some blood. This is probably Capcom's most violent beat 'em up, I'd say. I can't think of any other beat 'em up with this level of violence. I mean, it's not a whole bunch of dismemberment and blood and gore, but it's just violent. You don't necessarily need blood and gore for violence. Violence is just brutality. And this gem of the game delivers on all sides. I'm gonna be able to play through this shit. Forever, because it's just like my other favorite beat 'em up, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Sometimes I'm just sitting here on my ass, nothing else to do, and I just think to myself, I think I want to play some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, so I throw in the Cowabunga collection. Actually, I have the Cowabunga collection both in digital form and two physical copies, one for Switch, one for PlayStation. You might have to do that with this game too. So when you're talking about your favorite things in the world, and this game is, it's my top 3 games, favorite games of all time, as far as beat 'em up goes. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, this, and Splatterhouse 3, in no particular order. I have to categorize my favorite games and game types, and because I can't pick a favorite game, I mean, I guess I'd say Mortal Kombat 2. It's my favorite game, but that's a fighting game, and it's not the same as a beat 'em up. But yeah, I need categories of favorite games. Street Fighter 2, Mortal Kombat 2, Way of the Warrior, my favorite fighting games. I've already named my favorite beat 'em up games. You got your favorite platformers, Super Mario Land, or Super Mario World, I mean. 3D platformers, Mario 64. But, you know, all those are readily available. And up until very recently, this game was not readily available in a commercial form. Merely illegal ROMs. And I do enjoy playing illegal ROMs, but to have a actual physical release of this glorious game, like I said, is a dream come true. 30 years in the making. Yeah, Chad's World Arcade played a big role in the formation of my personality. Like I said, it was right down the street from my house. I could ride my bike there. I didn't go there a lot because it was supposedly had gangs there, which to me sounds ridiculous because I grew up in an upper middle class suburb of Florida. But then again, it is Florida. So anything's possible. There was rumors that a young Asian boy was allowed to smoke. He was probably about 13 years old. He was allowed to smoke and play pool there. Just had a bad reputation. My friend Pete swears up and down that Chad, the owner of Chad's World, is a guy in a wheelchair who got in a skiing accident and fulfilled his dream. I believe he had a dream, like an actual dream, not just like a wish. Like he dreamt about opening up his own arcade, Chad's World. And they had snacks and everything. And they even had like old electronic arcade games, like where you shoot the guns, like a shooting gallery type. But my friend Pete swears up and down that Chad himself, of Chad's World Arcade, was a kitty fiddler. I cannot confirm nor deny those allegations. But perhaps because of either Chad getting arrested or just its bad reputation, Chad's World Arcade did not last. My memory of this game did last. And the next thing that opened up in Chad's World Arcade was a pizza place called the Pizza Nook. And that was where I first went to my very first underground punk rock show. Saw Raw Power, the Italian hardcore band. Look them up, they're famous. I know Lot 6 played that night, my friend Shane's band. I think that was the first night I ever smoked weed too. Yeah, it was. I didn't get high, but I smoked weed that night. And then some hardcore kids from Tampa, they threw a hardcore show, which is not the same thing as punk rock. Hardcore, when you're talking about a band like Raw Power, that's hardcore punk. But hardcore is a different thing. It's skinny, straight edge kids who carry mace and do jump kicks and stuff, and have breakdowns in their songs and shit like that. Not my favorite. But yeah, they punched holes in the wall at their, it was the final show on Halloween at Pizza Nook. And it closed down, and it turned into Villarina Pizza. I was a dishwasher there, and I delivered pizza for about a week until I flipped my car into a ditch. I was 15, 16 years old. So, you know, those were a lot of history in my life. And it all begins with this game. So here I am, Christmas, my 40th birthday, having a full circle moment in the story of my life. the narrative of my existence. All begins with this game. Before Chuck E. Cheese, there was Pandy's Playhouse, and another strip mall in my neighborhood, Bloomingdale, Florida, the largest suburb in Hillsborough County. Pandy's Playhouse was more kid-themed. It was like a Chuck E. Cheese, like a miniature Chuck E. Cheese. Maybe they were the ones with the electromechanical arcades. Yeah, I think that was the one with the electromechanical arcades. I actually, when I was 16 or 17, I made out with the girl whose mother dressed as Pandy. I made out with Pandy's daughter. But unfortunately, she had just broken up with my friend Alex Hager, and that was the first and only time that I had to learn the harsh lesson of you shouldn't hook up with your friends' girlfriends. I mean, they weren't dating at the time; they had broken up, but still, it was the wrong thing to do. It felt wrong, and I tried to resist. I told her I didn't want to. I don't know. I was probably intoxicated on some kind of substance. I just remember sitting in my on my front lawn on the driveway, and I just kissed her, and we had a few more makeout sessions after that. But it just felt wrong. Because Alex Hager was a great friend of mine. But I mean, I was friends with Pandy's daughter as well. I mean, our friendship turned romantic, you know. That's the truth about cats and dogs. It's men are from Mars, women are from Venus kind of thing, you know. There was some tension there. Even though she was mean to me when we were in the same theater camp, theater summer school. I was in the 5th grade. I was going into the 5th grade. She was going into the 7th grade. The play was Peter Pan. And I was a lost boy and she was a pirate, so we kind of there was infighting between the two groups, I guess, to, you know, stay in character. But I didn't like the role I was given. They cast me as a character called Tubby. And I was an overweight child somewhat, especially in the 5th grade. So I quit that play because I didn't have to deal with that kind of shit. What kind of adult educator would cast a young, chubby kid in a role as Tubby? What did they think that would do for his self-esteem, you know? So I didn't have to deal with that shit. Shame on them. Shame on them. And the woman who cast me, Mrs. Golden, she had a weight problem herself. She was overweight. Her kids were Ben and Luke Golden. Remember I saw them at Subway sandwiches in Bloomingdale Square, another strip mall. See, there's a lot of strip malls where I grew up. That was kind of my window in the world, onto the world, my oasis, where Blockbuster was. You know, it's just kind of years before the internet. That was how you saw the world. And saw Luke Golden at Subway back when Subway was good. And he had this real funny voice, and he goes, and that guy goes, what kind of sandwich you want? The sandwich artist says, and he goes, steak. He wanted a steak Subway sandwich. And I can still hear his voice in my head. Steak. And usually, anytime I eat anything with steak in it, Taco Bell, Outback, you name it, I can't stop myself from going, steak! Just like Luke Golden did all those years ago. They tell you when you're a kid, cherish these times because they're the best time of your life. And they aren't joking. That's not an exaggeration. I look back on those times, you know, I have the Punisher arcade here at home, don't even have to spend any quarters. But if I could go back in time, I played at Chad's World Arcade when I was 10 years old, I'd much rather do that. It's 20 years old, half my life ago at this point. And I gotta tell you, I was talking to my sister about this today. I have no fucking clue where those 20 years went. It's all a blur. The days are long, but the years are short, as the colloquialism says. These years have just flown by. And I don't doubt that when I'm 60, I'll say the exact same thing. The next 20 years, they're probably just gonna fly right by, just like the last ones did. But when you're a kid, every year had its own distinct characteristics. The year I played this was the third grade. Third grade for me was my my super achiever year. I had been just accepted into the gifted program for kids with IQs over 135. I'm not going to say what my IQ is, but it's well over 135. Don't want to brag or anything. So it was advanced science class, advanced math class. I was a green belt in karate. I was on the select soccer team, which was a special soccer team you had to try out for. And you got to travel around and play in tournaments and stuff. And last but not least, I was a professional ballerina. I was in the Nutcracker, Tampa Bay Performing Arts Center, with a professional ballet company. I mean, full disclosure, you know, there's not a lot of 9-year-old ballerina boys. It's mostly girls. I've had people tell me I was in ballet because I was a creep and I wanted to touch all the little girls, or that I was gay, which my dad thought. But neither one could be further from the truth. I was in it for one reason and one reason only. I had a dream in the 3rd grade, probably beginning in the 1st grade, that I would grow up to be Jean-Claude Van Damme. And in order to be Jean-Claude Van Damme, you have to be a master of both karate and ballet. If you ever wondered why Jean-Claude Van Damme was able to do those splits, because he was a professional ballerina, as well as an American kickboxer. That doesn't mean he's American. Where he's from, Belgium, he's the muscles from Brussels. His style of martial arts, they call it American kickboxing. But it's more karate tournaments. It's not kickboxing. It's karate, and he won several tournaments professionally. They talk about that movie Kickboxer. He wasn't in Kickboxer because he was a real kickboxer. He did something what they call in Belgium American kickboxing. So there's people that talk a lot of shit about him, say, oh, he's not a real kickboxer, like Don the Dragon Wilson from Blood Fist fame. But he just did American kickboxing. He never claimed to be a kickboxer. It's two different things. Don the Dragon Wilson was a real champion. I think he was the heavyweight champion of the world of kickboxing. But you know, the thing is, Jean-Claude Van Damme made it to the top. And when you make it to the top of your profession, his profession, he was an actor. There's going to be a lot of haters out there. So, it didn't take away my opinion of him whatsoever. I wanted to be him. And talk about a drastic change. The next year, 4th grade, everything changed. The first change, one could say I lost it all in the 4th grade. And one could say I gained it all at the same time. First change was a vision of things to come. Was I get kicked off the select soccer team. Not because I wasn't the best defensive player they had, and even a good offensive player when we had our indoor soccer season over the summer. I just didn't get along with the other kids on the team. And the coaches even told my dad that. They met up with him and broke the bad news to him. They said, you know, this kid, your son's better than this kid, but his parents are about to get divorced. Your son's better than this kid, But he spends the night at our house for sleepovers and stuff like that. But definitely hurt my self-image. And that rejection left a scar on me from my golden boy ego I had developed in the 3rd grade. The next big thing that happened is I went to summer camp. It was a Catholic summer camp. And I was bullied a lot. Cried the whole time. They said I had the worst homesickness of any kid they'd ever seen in all their years. Camp Good Counsel, St. Petersburg, Florida. And I got a little glimpse of man's inhumanity to man. Kids torturing animals. We had to shower naked, which I hated. I hated that. And just me getting in fights with other kids who were bigger than me every day. I remember being chased by this kid, Jake, and just whacking him with a hockey stick. And they let me call my parents after the first week. Then I got changed cabins and got moved to a new cabin. And the second week, I actually had a good time. I enjoyed myself. So one could say, Camp Good Counsel toughened me up for the life that I was destined to have. Because when I got home, something felt off. A lady that babysat me when I was a kid, that we knew as Angie, she was a lesbian. She started staying at the house. She came from Mississippi, and she ended up somehow getting a job in Tampa. And I think she's still in Tampa to this day. I'm in Kansas City with my dad, and he's crying. And just so happens that's the first day that I bought a Green Day Dookie on tape. The album that changed my life. And I saw that, I was reading the lyrics, and I saw it said the F word quite a bit. My dad was obviously upset, and he didn't care. He's like, whatever. I was like, Dad, this has a lot of cuss words. He's like, okay, you're old enough to have it. And he was crying, and he said it was because my grandpa was sick, and he was going to die soon, which was a lie. My grandpa didn't die until I was in the 10th grade. But something was up. So there was something he wasn't telling me. Then the night before the 4th grade in August, I hear my parents fighting. Angie, the lesbian lady, comes to console me. And I figure out that night my parents are about to get a divorce. And they took us to a therapist in downtown Tampa, and the therapist asked, "Why do you think we're here?" And I said, "I think my parents are getting a divorce." And I was right. And that Angie lady, she stuck around. And then we found out my mom's going to move in with Angie. She's going to rent a house with Angie. And then on my 10th birthday, I say straight up to my mom, "Are you in love with Angie?" And my mom's not a bullshitter. She told me the truth, and I respect her for that. She said yes. And that was when I became a de facto member of the LGBT community. Spent the rest of my youth, adolescence, hanging out with the gays. I'll tell you, I like those 90s gays. They were a great group. Nowadays, everybody's gay, but back in the 90s, cool people. But my heteronormative suburban golden boy dream turned into something completely different. No longer did I want to be Jean-Claude Van Damme. I wanted to be fucking Billy Joe from Green Day. And I used to watch their concert over and over again on a tape and say, I want to do this one day. But I knew I'd never make it. But I tried. I tried for the next 20 years to be Billy Joe from Green Day. But I quit ballet. I played recreational soccer. Quit karate. And I guess that was the year I became a punk rocker. I entered an alternative lifestyle. Also the year I became a juvenile delinquent. I stopped having any respect for the law. I vandalized things, said cuss words. Was obsessed with finding pornography. And that was my 4th grade year. And and that's when, in between the 4th grade and the 5th grade, that's what we did. That's when I met Pandy's daughter for the first time. It was at that theater camp. I had already been to summer school theater camp in between the 3rd and the 4th grade. That was before my world fell apart, and I had a great time. Really liked all those kids, because there were older kids in the class too. And I played the role of Big John, Little John's brother. And we had a wonderful time. I didn't drop out of that. But yeah, that's back when you're a kid. That's the difference that 1 year can make. Just 1 year. Drastic change in my personality and the path of my life. Set me on a path of trying to be Billy Joe from Green Day. I also wanted to be Kurt Cobain from Nirvana. That wasn't until the 6th grade, but I wanted to be both. I wanted to be kind of a mix between Billy Joe from Green Day and Kurt Cobain from Nirvana. If you listen to my music, you can hear that I ripped off both, but mostly I ripped off Kurt Cobain, I would say. musically, I was a bigger Kurt Cobain copycat than Billy Joe copycat. Because Nirvana was more ethereal and schizophrenic sounding. Green Day is more of a pop band. And I just found that musically I was able to write songs that were more experimental sounding, like noise almost, like atonal resonance, than what Green Day, which was basically a punkified pop band. And that's not to say that Green Day is not a great band, because they are. But, you know, after that battle that was the past 30 years of my life, I go through all that bullshit, all that struggle, to finally get this game on a home console. So this really is, you know, a full circle moment right here. Because that's all I really ever wanted to do. Just sit here on my couch and play a good home version of Punisher Arcade. They could have put one out on Super Nintendo. I think it could have been a really good home conversion, but I don't think Nintendo's quality control would allow such a nihilistic, violent game to be published by Nintendo. So they had the Sega version, and not to knock Sega. Sega has some great games, but they're not so good at arcade conversions. Sega Genesis came out in 1989. Super Nintendo came out in 1991. So the Super Nintendo had better graphics, especially on a game like this. I think they probably could have made an arcade perfect port, much like Turtles in Time, of this game. But yeah, the Sega version just didn't cut it. It didn't have that. What was the best part of it? That opening cutscene, that's attraction screen, which I'm going to sit through this direct poo. That is fucking funny. Holy shit, that's funny. Direct poo. Oh my god. Does that mean Pooh directed this? I love English. Something about it is some really good English. But yeah. That's Punisher. That's Punisher and for the PlayStation 4. Oh, and I'm in first place too. That's one thing, even if it had a Super Nintendo. What the fuck? Why did it say I couldn't put in... God damn it, I'm not Cap, I'm RBH. Damn it. Well, there's plenty more playthroughs to come. Because I love this game. This is just the beginning. This is a new beginning. I just went through the past 30 years of my life that led up to this moment, but I'm going to conclude that this is a new beginning. And watch this beginning of this game one more time. Okay, here it comes. Shooting them. There they go. Dead, bloody women and children. Doesn't get any better than that. Merry Christmas, everybody. Good night.